Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Thanks for joining me today. Today, we've got an incredible build, and it's more like a transformation. Here we have a VW drag bus. Now, these Hot Wheels are absolutely incredible, and there's a lot of detail to them. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to transform this VW drag bus into a fighter plane themed drag bus, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Majority of this build is going to be with decals, and I know that you all love working with decals to make your customs look really cool. So let's go ahead, sit back, grab your favorite adult beverage, and join in today as we transform this VW drag bus into a fighter plane theme from the 95th Fighter Squadron. Let's get started.
It's time to start the autopsy.
Let's look at all the pieces. What's really cool about the drag bus is there's a clip in the very front that holds the body onto the base, and it's actually part of the windshield. You have to grind out the little push pin or the rivet in order to get this windshield out, as you can see here. Now the little hinge, that's what clips on to the front of the drag bus, and it just pops off, so that's really cool about that. You'll have to glue that back into place when you go to put it back in, but be careful of the super glue because it tends to give off fumes sometimes and it can cloud up your windshield. We definitely need to get this in the embalming fluid.
Meanwhile, back in the graveyard.
Here we're going to dip it in the embalming fluid, or as what most people call it, citrus strip. Now, since we're going to do a complete color change on this vehicle, we definitely want to make sure that we get it inside and out. Now, one of the other things about this vehicle is that sometimes these custom paint jobs, they take a little longer for the citrus strip to get the paint off. So you may have to let it soak a little bit longer in order for all that paint to come off. Let's set this out and we'll know when it's ready. Here's the bus all stripped down. I went ahead when I was done and I cleaned all these citrus strip off and everything, scrubbed it down with Zep degreaser. Now we're going to use this Tamiya surface primer, and I love this product. Here's the drag bus all covered with the Tamiya surface primer. Now this is one of the few things I'll actually use a spray can on because I'm an airbrusher, that's what I do. But hey, this is a great product and I recommend it highly.
Someone is being exhumed.
Here we're going to start putting on the decals. Now what I did is in the shape of the decals here, I took a piece of paper and I made a rubbing of the entire vehicle all the way around. And I used that VW logo in the front and that little triangle divider as my breaking point. When you make these decals like this, folks, you want to make sure they fit properly. And that's how I do that, is once I get the design made, I'll go ahead and I'll print it out on regular paper. I'll cut it out to size, put it on the vehicle to make sure that it fits properly. And if it doesn't, I'll make all the adjustments necessary in order for that to fit. And there's today's tip from your Uncle Paulie. Now, making a decal this large and going over the entire vehicle like this, it's kind of like putting a wrap on a full-size car. This is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for somebody that's doing decals for the first time. I recommend highly that you do a bunch of decals first before you decide to take on a project of this size. Now, it will work and it will fit, but especially when you get around the headlight and the signal light in the front, because they're raised, Now, after I done this vehicle, yes, it turned out great. But if you're going to do this and you're going to have the headlights and the signal lights, etc., printed, you may want to file those down because they will cause some type of wrinkles on that type of decal when you go to put them on. I mean, you're going to have to use microset and microsol to soften them up, and they will fit and they will look good. But I'm just warning you ahead of time, if you're going to take on a project of this size, you might want to practice it a little bit or order a couple sets of decals, and that will help you get better as you do this type of work. Now, decals can make or break a vehicle, okay? And again, these decals make this job complete. So just take your time, work with them, and try it out. Now, I will be having a video here in the near future on how to design decals, and I'll definitely be going over this type of decal and show you exactly how I do it. So please stay tuned for that. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and speed this up so you can watch the magic happen. Now is a great time to be sitting back with your favorite beverage and watch the magic happen. And what I'm doing here is I'm applying pressure with this, but I'm also using the microset to help set that vehicle in there. Now, another thing I'll do is once I get the decals on there, if there's any little piece kind of hanging off the edge or something like that, when I go to do the clear coat, I will spray the clear coat on there, and then I'll spray some on the underside of that decal, and then push the decal up underneath the vehicle, kind of like gluing it in place. And that definitely works also. I'll use these Q-tips to help squeegee out the excess water and the wrinkles. Man, this is turning out really pretty. Let's go ahead and start the other side. If you're getting anything out of these videos, anything at all, please go ahead, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's free, folks, and it helps me understand what kind of content you folks want to see. So please hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. I got a lot more videos coming out, and if you got any questions, please put them in the comments. All of my decals are produced on the iColor 560. Now, this is a true white toner printer. If you're interested in some information about this printer, let me know, because this printer actually has changed my life, and I'm not exaggerating. This thing is incredible, and it will help you with your diecast hobby. If you have HO cars or AFX cars, if you have full-size models, 124 scale, 118 scale, etc., etc. But this thing was actually made to produce t-shirt transfers. That's what's so great about this machine. So please check it out, folks. And if you have any questions, I do have a video on the iColor 560, and just get a hold of me for some information, and I can get you in touch with the man that can get you one of these beautiful machines. Yes, and it's definitely a fantastic machine. Now, once all these decals were put on and dried, I went ahead and put my Diecast Graveyard Clear Coat system in a 2K acrylic clear and made it look like glass. Check out my Diecast Graveyard Clear Coat system at diecastgraveyard.com. Now, here's all the pieces. Here's the drag bus, and again, I use my Diecast Graveyard Clear Coat. Look at the shine on that vehicle. Here's the base with the windshield. We'll get that attached. Let's get it all together and give my creation life.
Life! Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life!
And here's what we started with. This Hot Wheels VW drag bus. Now, the one reason I use this particular one is because there's some paint missing on top of the roof. Yeah, I could have fixed it up, but I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do this project for a long time. We went ahead and took it apart. I put the body in the citrus strip or the embalming fluid and got all the paint off there. Now, since this is a custom paint job with clear coats, etc., I had to soak it a lot longer, so it definitely had to sit for a day or two in order to get that paint off. But we got it all apart. The star of this show, folks, was the decals that I made with my iColor 560 printer. Now, again, if you want any information on that printer, it's a fantastic device, like I said, and it changed my life completely the day I got it. What a fantastic build. This was so much fun. And here's the finished product. Look at how beautiful this vehicle turned out. Now, I know that everybody can't afford one of those printers, the iColor 560. It's a little bit pricey. But you know what? It not only does the decals, and that's what I use my printer for almost exclusively. But a lot of people didn't do that. This machine is actually made to do t-shirt transfers. What's really cool about it is that it's got a software with it called ProRip, which helps you rip or process the software, but it's also got the ability to make designs larger that you can piece together, or ProCut. And if you got a friend that's really large and you want to put a nice big design on the back of their 5X t-shirt, then that's what this thing can do. And here's a glamour shot of the vehicle. It turned out so beautiful. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Hit that like button, mash that subscribe button, and I'll get back to you. And again, it helps me create content for you. We got a lot of new videos coming out here in the near future, and I'm working on projects for folks. Thank you so much for watching today, and cheers.